What's up, everyone? Let's create isometric typography. I'll show you just simply two techniques we'll be using. The techniques we'll be using the same, but I'll show you just one thing to keep in mind. Let's create this thing like here, isometric typography. What we will need to do, we'll use the color, of course. We'll need to type something, isometric typography. Then inside of the Figma FFF, I'll go and change it to uppercase for letters. We'll have them here. And now I'll show you one thing to keep in mind when you are working with typography. Of course, it should be scale. This is thing number one that you need to keep in mind. Scale for isometric shapes, and especially for typography. But sometimes for typography, let's do that. Maybe you will see it. Let's rotate it by 45 degrees. On the other side, this one. First of all, Command D, just in case. Now rotate it by 45 degrees. Command G, 57-73%. Done. And as you can see, it jumped to the next line. To make it as a one line, you will need to extend the box in which the typography is to do this. This is one thing. If you don't want your text to jump like that, and you know exactly that you are not going to change this text, it's better from the very beginning to change the text into the shape. Command-Shift-O, transform it into the shape. So now it's just dots. It's not the text anymore. It's a shape. Not a shame, it's a shape. Command D, let's make it again, Command-Shift-O. I will rotate it, Command G, 57-73%, done. And now everything is perfect. You see what? Because we are working with the shape. There are no problems with shape. The only problem that now, when, for example, you will decide to change this text, it will not be possible. That's the only problem. But then I'll show you how to play with text. But here, when you know exactly that you're not going to change it, just simply use what you already have. Let's play with this one. Shift V maybe. Rotate it again. And put it. I'm just flipped it vertically. I hope that you will be able to understand this. If you didn't, please think about it. I can show you that again. I made it really fast, but I want you to think about it, what I just did. Because it's really important for you not only follow the tutorial, but also learn and understand how things are done. Maybe you will practice and will find completely different ways how to do that. So I flipped it, rotated it, and now I'm going to change the color to 000. And what else I'm going to do? I'm going to select the shape itself. We'll make it longer like this. And I can even make it long like this. Isometric typography, and you can use it in your graphic design, in your web design, for example, if you want to present something in a little bit different way. And another thing that I'm going to do, of course, I need to put this text behind the text that we have there. Combine it together. It looks incredibly awesome already. But also we can use gradient, but in the opposite direction, like this. And let's make it just a little bit shorter. And in general, the entire typography may be here, the gradient will be 50 or even 20, like this. And now you have isometric typography with a reflection or with a shadow. Also in isometry, it looks cool. For this text, I used absolutely the same technique. You will be able to do that. Just the only thing, you can't change this text. If you need to change this text, if you remember, I created the copy from the very beginning. Command G. I will take this typography. Let's change it to something like 40, just smaller to show you. We will rotate it. Command G. 57, 73. Now we have 2 lines, but we will just increase the area. Inside of this area, the text will have space to put everything into one line. What we will do, we'll rotate it now. We'll put it here. But now, because it's still text, we can make it 80. See, we don't have space for that. That's totally okay. We'll increase the space for this text. Maybe we'll do this even. And now I can change it to something else, and I can type in the isometric mode. Yes, I can type in this mode. Like this. Simple and powerful. Command D, Shift V, rotate, move, put it down, below, copy the style, paste the style, and we have amazing and powerful things. But in this case, of course, for this text, I will not be able to stretch it as in the previous example. This is the power of knowledge of 2 modes. Like this text, let's take these 2 guys. This text I can't change because it's already a shape, but I can stretch it. I can make it really tall. Looks great. This text I can't stretch, but I can type whatever I want. This is how powerful it is, and don't forget that you can still use absolutely the same things that we used already. You can use masks and you can create something on top of everything, like here. We'll put this one here. And we'll use different color. Like this. Rotate. Make it smaller. Put it down inside of this group. And this is where you have this typography. Looks nah. Actually, it's pretty good. It's a good connection between these 2 colors. Yeah, nice. So now you know the technique how to create simple isometric designs. Yes, they're simple. The technique is simple, but the result is really powerful. You know how to create complex shapes, which is really amazing. And now you know how to work with typography. As you can see, I used the grid that we learned how to create in the previous lesson. You can put it here, make it really bright. You can remove this pink from here. And this is how it looks. If you don't like the gradient, simply change it to solid and make it 100% to make this pop. As with logo, remember. Now you know all these techniques. Great. The next lesson, I'll show you how to animate isometric design. Just 2 techniques as well. And the final lesson will be bonus one. It will be available for those who will do some specific actions. But this is what you will be able to create directly in Figma. Isometric mode. But really powerful result. So you will know how to do all these things. Now we will dive into the how to animate isometric design. See you in the next lesson.